Hey guys, welcome to the show this week. With me, as always, Corey.
Hello.
He's our technical guy. He does a lot of the technical work here. And I just watch. I'm like a supervisor. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Corey. We have a lot to talk about. We have some week 8 results, interesting prediction tallies right now going on. We have some movement in the standings a bit. We got power rankings, a little bit low on the participation, but it was kind of last minute because we forgot to mention it on last week's show. I forgot that it was the first week of the month, to be honest. So I'll take the blame for that. And Corey's already been calling for my head tonight. He wants me out as commissioner. So. And then we're gonna go over. There's only a couple trades. We'll go over that like always, and then of course we're gonna talk about this week's matchups. Yes, we're already a couple days in, but that's not gonna judge my prediction. Like change my predictions. I already had them pretty much set. Corey, who knows? Like he's a shady guy.
If you have an advantage, you got to take it.
We tell everyone else though, you have to have them by this time to avoid this kind of scenario. Yeah. Hey, let's go over last week here. Some interesting matchups last week. We're going to start off with the 3-4-1 Clef Bomb defeating the 2-5-1 Saucier Pass here. What happened?
Yeah, his team had a pretty good week. Outplayed me, and goalie stats took the win for him. How much to say about that?
How good has Markstrom been?
Yeah, I know. It's bittersweet against me this week.
Yeah. There I go. If I'm going to lose, it better be to the Flames.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it last week? I think it was last week, right? Veg Melka had a shutout.
Pardon me?
Was it last week that Veg Melka had a shutout, or was that 2 weeks ago?
Oh, that was like a few weeks ago now. That was a long time.
It was just Markstrom that took you down pretty much.
Yeah, his goalies have been doing well. Even the Calgary backups have been playing pretty awesome for them.
I always tell him, like, oh yeah, he has the backup too. He has Vladar, right?
He's like 5-1 right now.
That's a duo you want, though. Calgary's like such a good team right now. Like, I can't believe no one had the backup.
Yeah, but it was so out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was. You
don't really expect Calgary to do that well.
You're a Flames fan, and you're saying that.
No, it's just it's been so disappointing for so many years. Now I finally am like, I don't care, like whatever, and they're killing it. Oh well, I'm not complaining.
No, you shouldn't. Like, enjoy the ride, right?
Exactly.
And our second matchup last week here, we had the 5-2-1 Team Ramrod, the Champion, defeating the whole shaft, the 5-3 whole shaft, 7-6. Why don't you tell me about this?
I think this is battle of the best of the league. Whoa. Division 2. They're Division 2. This is a close one. It wasn't it came down to an assist right in the last game.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah. It gets the assist to get the win. You didn't even take a goalie stat.
I took no goalie stats. Like my goalie situation was shit last week. I picked out Dreiger for a spot start early in the week, got the win, then he's injured. So I was dropping him anyway.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Kemper has the check mark. He's going to the game. Cool. No, he gets injured like an hour before the game. Like, what the fuck? So there's 2 goalies on the shelf. Anderson is confirmed. And then 20 minutes before the game, all of a sudden, he's ill. Injured. Like, off. Like, what the hell is going on with my goalie?
Yeah.
So I pick up Subban to play. Last desperation move from Buffalo to try and get a third start, right? Because I had 2 starts early in the week, and then he doesn't even finish the game. He gets injured. He got lit up first. He got lit up first before he. So by the end of the week, I had Varlamov, who was healthy,
which is the guy who's been hurt all season.
Yeah, but he got a good game on Sunday. Yeah, he didn't get the win, but he got them to a shootout, a 2-2, a 3-2 shootout loss. But yeah, goalie situation was not good for me. I didn't take any, but my boys showed up. My offense showed up, which it's one or the other this year for me. It's never everything rolling at once. It's my offense is going and my goalies are nowhere to be seen, or the opposite. My goalies are stealing me a week, and the offense, who knows where they are. It was a good week though. It came down, like you said, last 2 minutes of the last game of the week. Yeah, I wasn't even awake.
It's the
I went to
top
bed.
team too, right? Because now you're ahead of them in the standings.
Yeah, I jumped back into top of the division after losing to Sean the week before. So man, I had a tough stretch though. I had to play Domo, then I had to play Neil, I had to play Sean, and I had to play Nick. Like,
Yeah, that's like 4 guys who are fighting for top spot here.
and now the league's rewarding me. They're rewarding me. Lynn's rewarding me with Braden this week.
The Braden bye week. Not everyone has faith in you though.
No, a lot of people do. We'll see that in the predictions, right? We'll see that in the predictions. We also had Derek here. I got canceled. 3-5. Derek, who still has Caulfield on his team. I don't know why, but he lost to Dan. 6-2. Dan here, get off my grass. 6-4. What happened here?
This is close. Like a lot of, you don't normally see a 6-4 week, right? Only 10 categories.
No.
But yeah, Dan's goalies took the win from this week. They didn't even play great, and Derek didn't put up much of a fight. That's all. Easy week for Dan, moving up to 6-2 in the season too.
Now, I don't know what Derek's up to right now. Looks like either he has really good faith in his team that he built, or it's still football season and he's not fully invested here. Like, with his team though, he should be probably competing a little more. But what am I going to say? I'm one of his 3 wins. So let's go on here. Cherry picking daddy, 3-4-1, defeating the 2-5-1, 7 on the ice, 10-1. Ooh, that's a lopsided score. What happened here?
I mean, 10-1, but I don't think it could have been a lot closer pretty easily. Good win for Kyle though. He's been on a little bit of a tear lately. So he was a big win. Yeah, he's been stellar, right? So and his offense is showing up. He's making a lot of movement with free agency, getting the games in, and it's paying off.
Well, I think Mark's having a rough season, but he had a lot of potential early on. I feel once he moved Gibson, that hurt him.
Yeah, it's a big stat to lose.
Yeah, exactly. It's a starting goalie, right?
And I can talk to that. It's been hard since Campbell.
That's exactly it.
Stats haven't been there. But
that's what people don't realize, right? Like you move those big goalies. Yeah, you're getting a big return, but what's that return really doing for
you? Yeah. It's only a few weeks since though, so there's tons of time to see how that trade evaluation goes, right? But yeah, I haven't been winning since, so
it's harder to win those goalie stats, right? Without that rock in nets, like.
Yeah, I just got to get active with free agency to get those starts in.
Yeah,
I have the starts, but 3 is not enough in this league. You got to get more saves than that, more wins than that, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Like if you play guys like Travis, you're getting destroyed.
Oh yeah, and that in saves, yeah. The guy rides his goalies. They're not good goalies though. Like he has Vancouver and Philly, who are bottom teams in the league. They both just cleaned house in their coaching staff. Like those are the goalies you want. But
Demko got him a shutout though last night or earlier Monday, I think.
Monday night, yeah. But they're probably going to turn it around a little bit. But to me, I'm staying away from anything Vancouver until they get some stability in there. Like it's hard to say. They have the Bruins tonight.
See them I don't think anybody expected them to be this bad though, right? So I think they have the potential of picking up quick. They're young guys.
I don't know about quick, but they could pick it up. They have a lot of dysfunction from what I'm hearing in the actual locker room. As Travis telling me that what's his name there? The guy he has, JT Miller, is like yelling at the young guys at practice, like they don't know how to do drills. Like, yeah. So there's some dysfunction there. And I think if they clear that out, like if guys don't want to be there, move them, get them out of that locker room, right?
Exactly.
Then you can
Especially with the youth they have, because they have some good potential.
They do. They have some good youth, which is all on your team now.
Only two.
Only two. That's their best players, though.
Hughes and Peterson. Like, I'm happy with both.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that.
We'll get there. We'll get there. How are you telling me about Daltrey, the 4-4 Daltrey the Beef, defeating the Charlie Browns, who's now 4-3-1. What a rough year for Sean so far. This is not like him regular season at all. What happened here?
Sean's been hurting goalie wise. Koskinen's still making him pay, and Saro's got a shutout for Daltrey, so paying dividends there for that purchase. But yeah,
I love that move.
Yeah, I'm mad I didn't pay the price, but it was expensive. But yeah, Daltrey needed to make it right, because Grubauer wasn't even like, you didn't even know what he was looking like this season.
It's so hard to predict an expansion team, right? Like,
yeah.
Vegas gives you like expansion goggles here. Like, oh, Vegas did so well. Yeah, well, not every expansion team's Vegas. Like,
yeah. Well, it's not like he chose it though. I'm sure he'd prefer Colorado, right?
Yeah. But I don't know what's up with Colorado. They let so many goals in right now, and it's not necessarily their goaltending. It's just they're so offensively minded that they're just like, we're just gonna run and gun and beat them. Like,
hey, if it's working though, holy,
it's working right now. But when you get to the playoffs, is that what's gonna work? Like,
yeah, I know, I agree.
They need to tighten up a bit.
Have been really hurt this year too, though.
Yes, they have.
So they're just probably getting the swing of things.
Last week, Battle of the Titans here. Captain Crunch now 7-1, defeated. Suck my Ojic now 5-1-2, 8-6. What do you got here?
It's a first loss regularly, or like first loss for Neil, right?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how Domo does it. He didn't take a goalie stat, so it's you and him both getting wins. Not a goalie stat. His player stats killed it. He had a really good week, and so did Neil too. Like Neil's player stats were very, very respectable as well. So like Domo 3 shorthanded points. Like that's my season total right there. Like, and you can't plan that.
No, you can't. Like, you can't defend against shorthanded points. Like,
yeah.
What's my counter to that? Like, this guy plays the penalty kill. Can I throw him in my lineup? No, I don't know what to think of Domo's team. I don't know. It's consistent. Like he's getting the wins, right? But I don't know. I didn't really have any issue with him.
It's 1 week.
Hockey Balboa 2-4-2 now. Defeats. Please don't feed the goalie. 2-5-1 with 11-3. Wow, what happened here?
Was that
Dallas didn't have enough games?
2 in a row for Braden now? No, Braden lost last week, the week before. But yeah, I don't think we're surprised by this one. We know Tyler's team hasn't been. It's not really set up to play right now. A lot of injuries. So
a lot of injuries.
And Braden's been pushing hard to create a better team and to get back in here. And I think he has the team to do it. So it's a good win.
He's got a good test this week.
Who's he playing? You this week? Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a good test this week. And so far he's in it. Right now it's his 8-6 series. So yeah. Baltimore Orioles 2-6-0 now after defeating Pacioretty to Rumble, who's at 3-4-1, 9-4. What do you think of this?
Oh, this one sucks for me. Like I was putting in the stats for Nick's team this week, and I'm like he smoked me last week, and then it was like pathetic this week, and I'm like I would have ran over him. And it's a big win for Travis. That was a must win for him, I'd say, to keep it going against a team who's been selling pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
So
I agree. It was a big win for Travis. I ranked him not high, but higher than probably most people would
standings.
have in the power rankings, right? I think like his team is dangerous when healthy, and they're there now. So
Yeah, I agree that it was weird this time doing it in the power rankings because I put him up there as well, a little bit higher than, much higher than the standings should show. He's 16th, right?
yeah, but I just think that yes, he is better than a few of these teams. And hey, if he has a big December, I'm going to rank him higher again in January,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. So it'll be
So
fun to see. We all knew he once his team got healthy, he'd be okay. It's just if he survive Travis? Did he
yeah,
survive?
could he stop the implosion before? Could he get there? I
Well,
don't know.
I think he did. I think he did well.
Yeah,
So
I mean, he didn't trade any of his goalies, so
not that he didn't already.
yeah, he's notorious. Like rebuild. I almost want to say he's the Coyotes of the. It's like all of a sudden they
Conference
implode
finals once in a while though.
once.
I was hyped though.
I was pumped in L.A. Like, oh, they're going in against the eighth seed, and eighth seed wins. Like, fuck. Let's talk about the standings here. What do you want to tell me here about Division One?
Yeah, just sort of separate even more. I find one, 2, and 3 really. If you take two-way use as the second place, if you just look at points.
Yeah.
Yeah, Domo showing he's number 1 now, and it's nice to see.
6-0.
Yeah,
even Dan's past Neil, right? So
yeah, because it's 6 wins.
yeah, he's got he got more wins.
I don't understand him, man. Like
he keeps trading, and
he's constant, and he's strict, like Travis was last year, but he's not as big of a pain of it.
It's just a matter of time, though. I think before Dan's team tails off a bit, if he keeps making these moves, right? But his goalies are good. His young goalies are good, so they can win him weeks.
Yeah,
Weeks that he has no business winning.
Yeah, exactly. And his players carried him this week. So
yeah,
no, it's good.
I like to see that though. We have 8, 9, 10, all at 7 points. What about 11? No, 11 at 6. That's where the drop off is. But yeah, no, it looks. You could see the interdivisional matches. There's only 3 teams in that division with a positive record against the division, right? But it's like they're those 3 teams are dominating their division.
Yeah. All right.
The rest,
what do you think of Division 2 here?
What do I think of it? Oh, I think the right man is on top. That's for sure. The Champion here leading the way at 5-2-1. This division is a lot closer, right? Like I said before at the start of the season, I'll stand by. I think Division 2 is the better division because it's tighter. Like people are around the same level. It's not top heavy.
Yeah, like both your losses and both Nick, or all 3 of Nick's losses and 2 of Sean's, like they're all interdivision.
Yeah,
like Sean has 1 to the other division, but
that's it. I've only lost to my division, right? So I have 2 losses on the year. Both were in my division. I'm 2-0-1 against the other division, right? So,
yeah.
But against the big teams in our division.
It's gonna get interesting too, because we got like Hockey Balboa going up the rankings. We predict Travis is gonna go up the rankings, and it's just gonna get tighter. Like,
yeah, that's what I think. Right, every week, I think in almost every matchup, there could be an upset. Just the league is getting very close. And some people, I think it's really competitive. I think it's the most competitive it's ever been. Some people would argue that, right? Some people would say like, "Oh, I want to do some crazy things to kind of get the league closer."
Are you talking about someone in particular?
Yeah, it was a cheap shot at Neil. Though he did want me to bring this up, so I will bring it up because all ideas are valid, but
Yeah.
I'm not looking to do anything drastic to the way the league works, right? And his idea was kind of, he thinks it would be better for the league if the two teams that make the finals only get 2 keepers the following year. Anyone else who makes the playoffs get 3 keepers. Everyone else who doesn't make the playoffs get 4 keepers. He feels, and a limit of 1 goalie keeper. He feels that this would bring better names into the draft pool. But I don't think it switches the teams up enough, right? If I only have 2 keepers, let's say, I'm going into the draft with 3 extra draft picks. So I'm just going to choose from those players that are left. Like, I don't know. I personally don't like the idea, but if someone likes that idea, let me know. I'm not looking to do changes though to the league that are huge and drastic to the foundation of the league, right? The league was founded on, hey, we're going to make it a keeper league, 5 keepers for everyone since day one, and draft picks based on whatever standings and whatnot. So I don't know. I'm not looking to personally do big changes, but if there's an overwhelming need to do big changes, I don't feel it necessary personally because the league is at its most competitive. Any week, anyone can lose.
Yeah, like I agree with you. I feel 5 keepers on a team of 18. Like if you win, you're essentially losing your superstars for the most part. Like 1 goalie, 1 player. Like it's too big of a difference. I feel like you need some value in who you're keeping.
You shouldn't be penalized for winning.
Yeah, and I think if we didn't have draft picks, maybe we could look at this option. But you have the option of trading to improve your team or rebuilding in that way. So like that's where lower in the standings, typically you'd invest for the next seasons.
Yeah.
I just feel like way too big of a change to do it every season that way.
That was my big thing, is it was too big of a change. I appreciate that people are trying to think of ways to improve the league, right? I want us to improve the league too, if it makes sense. But to me, the idea is just, it's too far out there from the fundamentals of the league. The way we do it now, yes, there are some teams that are always at the top right now, right? But that's because we did the work to get our keepers where they are, right? We did.
I'm not disagreeing. Like typically it's the more active people chasing the free agency. Like I feel like there's a proportion, there's a relation between where you're on the standings and how many moves you're making. Like I made a lot of moves this year. I'm not off to a great start, but typically I feel like the ones who sit at the bottom are the ones that aren't making the moves necessary to build their roster properly, replace the players, go for the guys on a hot streak, get the guys who are playing more games this week, getting the goalie starts on Sunday, stuff like that. Like that's where you're going to get the wins.
But that's a minimal amount. Because you even have someone like Travis and Braden near the bottom, but they're active making moves, right? I do question Tyler though. Like he still has Anthony Mantha on his roster. He's been injured all year. Is he worth holding a dead roster spot for?
That's what I mean. There's a few players on his team that I truly don't. I think he should be moving. Like and then you're gonna get hurt from that. Like Ryan Ellis, Kucherov, of course, Mantha, Backstrom holding up a spot. Like he's arguably worth it, but like what you're losing by having to hold on to Kucherov in a roster spot, I don't think so.
If it were me, I would have put Kucherov on the IR. I would have dropped Mantha, Ellis, made other picks for active players, maybe shopped Backstrom around.
Yeah, exactly. You might get someone to bite on him, like Kyle, and then
someone who might have an IR spot, right?
Yeah.
It's easy for us to criticize other rosters, but we're fairly active, right? So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I agree. Like, hey, I don't see it as though like people are coming to this season saying I don't stand a chance. Like, no,
never. I feel like everyone comes out of the draft feeling pretty darn good about their team.
Yeah,
because like the amount of options and picks that you're picking people for a reason, you normally feel pretty good. And like even me, when I had a really long draft the one year, wait until the 18th round with like 4 picks in 18th round, I felt good about those picks. They're like sleeper picks that had potential. So like every year, you really, some people have better keepers, like much better keepers, but doesn't mean your whole 18-man roster, right? It's only a third of your team is your keepers.
Exactly. Yes, it's good to have all those keepers, but you need to be able to build around them. You can't just rely on the keepers. So
yeah,
personally, I don't like Neil's idea. I told him as much. But I do respect that he's trying to help throw out ideas and help. So I did want to give it a shout into the chat, or into the show here, and maybe get a conversation started. Maybe I'm the one who's out of touch, and everyone else feels that, hey, something like that would be good, right? So I have a feeling at least whoever is near the top will probably disagree, but but again, it's more of like, why are we penalizing someone for putting the time in and winning versus like someone who's not really active? If you're not really that active and that's the way you choose to play, then I don't care if you have a good team.
and I think if we look back at the trophy, there's no repeat names.
There's not.
That means we're changing the rosters enough that we're cycling through the different teams, right?
Yeah.
And we even had 8 teams the first few seasons. We only had 8 teams, and we had expanded, right? So even when there's 8 teams, we still had different people winning.
But we didn't have keepers though then. When there wasn't the first year we had keepers, we had 16 teams.
Oh, really? So the start of this season, or the start of this league, we had 16? I thought we had one season before with like 12.
We had 2 seasons where we had 8 people, but it wasn't the keeper league.
Oh, I thought we had the first year of the keeper league, we had more. We had an expansion. Oh, okay. But even still, I think you're the first repeat if we look back to those 2 other seasons, right?
Yes, if we count those 2 seasons, then I won with Varlamov.
Kyle Bergeron.
Kyle Bergeron, yeah.
Wow, when he was something. It'd be fun to look back at some of those rosters, eh?
If we could, yeah. Like those are fun seasons, but I think the right idea was like, hey, let's make it a keeper. Let's expand to 16. And that's why we never really discussed expansion again. We said these are the 16 that we've always had. We'll always only have 16. To me, it's the right amount of teams for 5 keeper.
And 2 goalies, like especially now 32 teams, right? Like if we do like, let's say even 2-3 more teams, like that makes goalies tough, and we already feel the tightness of it right now. So
it's already scarce, right? So like, why make it more rare?
Yeah, it would have to be a whole new league, in my opinion.
I agree. But yeah, let's talk about predictions last week here. I'll let you guide us through this.
No faith for you here, Shane. Le Champion gets the whole shaft.
There was no respect, but Daltrey had my back. That's why he's beautiful. Daltrey is beautiful.
Yeah, Daltrey knew. Yeah, 2-9 is our record. Great participation this week, guys, by the way. And Dan getting the respect that he deserves. I feel like this is the first week that he actually had like the confidence in the league behind his win, 11-11-0.
Well, look what he did the week before, and Derek has been spotty in his activeness, right? I do know, like, it's probably rough for him because I do remember he is expecting a child, so like I'm not sure if he already had it recently or if it's soon. Like, he's probably got other things going on too, right? But this is a recurring theme for
him. Yep. All right, we go Cherry Picking Daddy versus Seaman on the Ice. 7-4. We did pretty good on this one. Moving over now, a big upset here. Daltrey on the beef versus the Charlie Browns. Daltrey pulling off the win, but Shane not giving the vote of confidence back in Daltrey. Dan getting the win on this one.
He made his picks before I did, like after I did. I didn't know he was backing me. I didn't expect everyone to not back me though. Whew.
Yeah, either did I, to be honest.
Here.
Captain Crunch versus Suck My Ojic. Captain Crunch, no confidence again, but proves us wrong again.
People are going to have to start respecting this guy. Like,
you know what? I did in the rankings this month. I'll say that. You know what? You got to respect the standings to a certain degree, right?
Yeah, 7-1.
Hockey Balboa versus Please Don't Feed the Goalie. Daltrey without a vote. Not sure what he's thinking. Just didn't
He
want to
only
take a
said
loss,
7.
maybe. He just really didn't know. It's not worth the risk.
He probably just didn't realize that he missed one because he's just out
I
of it.
know. I'm just being sarcastic. 8-2 though. Dan going with the tie and missing on this one. Travis versus Nick. Baltimore Orioles 7-4. Everyone seemed to have faith in Travis coming back healthy against Nick, who's selling off.
Selling. Yeah.
So I mean, I get. And then this one, I appreciate the faith, but I'm sorry to disappoint, guys. 5 winners at going with Clefbaum. Against me, 44-43 was our final for the week. So not a good week. No, not bad. But last week, I think we were like 10 over 500.
Yeah, this week barely.
So if we look at the week 8 winners, we have the Charlie Browns and Shane 6-2. If we look at totals for the 8 weeks now, we have Daltrey in first with 39 wins. You creeping up the leaderboard here, 35-29.
That's why I'm on this show. I'm on the panel.
Where am I here? Oh, I'm not far behind. 34-30. Okay. But if we go to winning percentage, I just want to kind of take a look at this because that's what we discussed as the winner was going to get. If you played enough, right? But it's nice to see Daltrey in first place by quite a lot, 39-23. That's quite an impressive record, to be honest. Like, we should have him as the guest host.
He's defending champion.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then we got Dan and Travis at 56-3. Not full participation, close though. But Dan is starting to participate more. Yeah, keep sending them in, guys. I think it's fun.
Oh, that's some great participation.
And Lynn with a slow week.
She's not far out there. Look at that, 54.
54. Yep. She's beating me.
She's gonna win. She's gonna win by the end.
We'll see.
All right. Up.
Put some trades.
Yeah, let's talk about the trades. There's not a whole lot of trades.
There's some big ones here, so I think you involving me. So I'd like to hear your take on them.
All right, we're gonna skip the 2 that we talked about last week. That technically, or on last week's show, that technically happened during last week's game period. We're gonna start off with what we got here. Get Off My Grass received Cam Atkinson and a 12th for Garnet Hathaway and a 16th. That went to Neil. Hathaway, who is now on the COVID protocol. So good move, Dan.
Great.
What do you think of that?
I like it. Like, he just picked up Hathaway not too long ago, and to get a 12th for him, and you can't make it up. Obviously, COVID, you can't predict that, but no, good trade for him. Neil
Atkinson's on a terrible Philly team.
Yeah, like he doesn't care about Atkinson, right? But
no,
Neil going for
that's it. That was just a throwaway player.
Yeah, exactly right. So no, Neil's trying to make his team better to keep pushing on here. So I like the trade.
Neil's picking up players who aren't even ready yet, picking up those dead roster spots, picking up Rass. Like, it could be a steal. Could be a steal, but I don't know.
But a month and a half of him sitting there and he can't even go on your IR.
Yeah.
If he signs with Boston soon, then you can put him on the IR. I'd say okay. I would have done it by now.
So my big thing is Boston's already tight against the cap. They're playing so well with the goalies they have. How do you justify bringing in Rass? Hey, you're gonna play this season now, Tuukka. Swayman, you've been playing good, but we're sending you back to the AHL. Like, if I'm Swayman, that burns. Like,
yeah.
Do you want to cross that bridge right now?
Tuukka
could sign elsewhere.
It is Rask, though. It is Rask. I don't think wouldn't be he's playing well. That's the hard part, right? Like, wasn't necessary if he's playing well and he's your prospect for the future. Then yeah, I guess he could be offended by that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Want to trade? Give me a chance to be a starter then. I've even proved myself this season. So
I thought he's been doing a great job proving himself since last season, right? If they bring him back, if Boston brings him back, I feel it's because he's part of the old guard. Like, he's a Bruin, but at one point you got to cut that cord and say, is this what's best for us? Guy's coming off hip surgery. Will he be the Tuukka Rask? Is he gonna be as mobile? Like, I don't know. I don't like him in Boston. I like another team maybe taking a chance on him.
Going for a run.
But I don't like it for Boston. I don't like that you could just make a decision that might hurt your relationship with your future star, right?
It's
For a
true.
guy who's had his day. Yeah. I don't know. That's my opinion on Rask, but
The
very
only thing I'll say
opinionated
is
these
I
days.
did research quite a bit on him because I was I need my goalie situation is pretty shit. And he is okay with signing like a league minimum.
Yeah.
Like, he's not there for the money. He just wants to play. So that kind of that does change things, right?
Well, I still don't think Boston should bring him in. I think you send the wrong message to the young players in your organization. Like, we don't have faith in you. We're going to bring in this guy so he can play the last 3 months of the season.
Politics of our fantasy hockey league lately between Rask and Kane. And
I'm very opinionated these days. So how did you become a grumpy old man? No, right. I like the pick. I like the pickup idea, but I think it was too soon. But several people were watching, right? So a lot of people had their eye on Rask. It's just, I still think it's too soon to have that dead roster space.
But he's in the spot where he can afford the losses too.
He can afford the losses.
Yeah. If you're now. Yeah. It's true.
If they start piling up and then all of a sudden you can't get out of that, could be problematic. I'm of the mindset though, I don't like to give up any wins ever if I can avoid it. So right.
I got a big one here from me. So
tell me about it.
So I traded to Dan, get off my grass, 6th round pick, Hockey Balboas, Kirill Kaprizov, Taylor Hall for Peterson, Quinn Hughes, Elias Lindholm, and a 17th round pick. What do you think of this?
I'm torn. I like Kaprizov going to Dan. I think that's a great piece. The 6, obviously. I'm not sold on Taylor Hall being worth anything.
He was the throwaway player, to be honest. He's the guy that he didn't want.
I get Dan trying to dump Vancouver players because that place is a dumpster fire right now. But I feel you made that move hoping they turn it around.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And if they do, it's a great trade for you. If they don't, you gave up Kaprizov for a couple busts, right? Like, it's tough. It's tough to judge right now, in my opinion. But if they do turn out, if Vancouver turns it around under Boudreau, this could be a great deal for you. Lindholm is a great piece. I do like Lindholm. I believe he plays on the penalty kill, right?
Yeah, well, he plays everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, he's always a threat, shorthanded on the power play, and he's been producing this year at a good pace. So I like that piece. I like that you only had to give up. I mean, you got a 17th back for the 6th. You got 3 players for 2 and a draft pick, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I don't like about your team, no versatility. You're going all offense. That's such a crapshoot, right? Because if you guys aren't scoring and then you run into a team with like a Leon Draisaitl who's going off, like, man, that could hurt. But you're gonna try and overpower them with goals and assists is my judgment on what your roster looks like now. You pretty much got rid of most of your grit. You picked up Riley last week, Hughes this week, all these ODs like.
Yeah,
that's next. It wasn't last week. It was.
Yeah, no, it's coming up.
So it was last week.
I'll give my take on this trade. I feel he gave up a lot, but he got the keeper that he wanted. He's pretty comfortable with his keepers now.
I agree. Dan got the best player in the deal.
Yeah, exactly. He got the best player in the 6th round pick, right? And now he doesn't pick past the 12th round. So he keeps shopping, and he still has some good trade value. And you're gonna have to pay a good price. Like, you're gonna have to give a good pick now, regardless, if you want to deal with him. So I think it was good for him, and he got his keeper that he really wanted. For me, I got 3 young players that arguably could be keeper players at the end of the season. I feel if
I'm not sure
Gaudreau,
about Lindholm,
I
but
feel like if Gaudreau resigns, I'd say Lindholm could be worth keeping. If he doesn't, then definitely not. But I
I
feel
think
like I'll
that's the
get the
Calgary
value
fan
for
in
yeah.
you.
And then
Though,
Peterson
Elias
and
could
Hughes.
definitely be a keeper,
Yeah.
right?
Which one?
Elias. Oh,
Peterson,
yeah.
Lindholm.
Peterson. Yeah, that's true. Lindholm is. I forgot that he was an Elias as well. I get it though. Peterson could be a keeper, right? If he turns around. Who knows what Hughes? He had a great season last year.
He put
Season
up
still has a
a
lot.
4-point game for me right after I got him. So he's actually doing really well on the season.
I see what you're up to though. All your offense.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your next trade.
All right. I dealt with Travis on this one. I've been bugging him for Riley all season long, so I finally got him. I gave up Eric Johnson and Buchnevich for Tage Thompson and Morgan Riley. What do you think about this one, Shane?
Honestly, I know you've been after him because I hear it all the time. But if that's the guy you wanted, then you're going to pay a little more for him. Johnson has been surprisingly gritty this year.
Yeah.
So I looked at his stats and man, like he's put up some blocks and some hits. He got a shorty right after you traded him. Like
I know. Oh yeah. Buchnevich scored an OT winner this week.
Yeah, game winner this week. Like
yeah.
So the guys you traded are performing well. But Riley's probably the better player in the deal, right? So you got to pay a little bit. Thompson seems like a throw-in. But from what I hear, it's a throw-in you kind of had your eye on. So
no, I didn't really have my eye on him, but he's a big body who's been playing big minutes for Buffalo. So he hasn't done much, but he's a guy I'm willing to toss if I need to. But
yeah,
he's surprising stats for like a young guy. He was a first-round pick for them a few years ago.
What I like about this deal, no draft picks. You traded 2 guys who are good to improve one position.
Yeah,
I don't find there's enough deals like that, right?
That's exactly what I was doing.
I'm a big fan of those deals. If I can trade 2 guys that are good to get 1 player improvement, I would do that. So guys, reach out to me. I like the deal for both of you, actually, honestly. I think it was a good hockey deal.
Yeah, like Johnson doesn't fit my team. I'm not a hitting team. I'm not a goon team, except for Strome did put up 17 penalty minutes last night for me, so that helps. But yeah,
once
typically
in a while you can go
full offense, exactly. And he's pretty good for that.
No, I like the deal for both. I thought it was a good deal for both. I kind of feel that way about your other trade too. I think you're at a loss until Vancouver turns it around. And Vancouver turns around, then I can see this is a good deal for you as well, right? Like a really good deal for you.
Yep.
We have one more trade. It looks like it came in, I think, this week, though. We're going to talk about it. It did come in this week because I remember seeing Kadri went up for sale this week, and then my opponent just grabs him, of course. But,
who you initially had too.
Yeah. Well, I picked him up off waivers.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, Nick had him and he dropped them because he needed a Sunday pickup, I believe is what it was. So I claimed him on waivers, got a good week or 2 out of him, and then shipped him off in the Bennett deal.
Yeah.
And he's having a good year, but I don't find Kadri has put up anything except points this year. His grit isn't there. And for me, that was a problem because that doesn't fit my team identity, right?
Yeah, your team's gritty as fuck this year.
That's what you got to do when you draft in the late rounds. You got to grab grit. But Kadri and an 11th over to Hockey Balboa for Besser and a 7th. What do you think of that?
I think if you look at that trade before the season started, you would couldn't even picture this ever happening. I feel like he's selling Kadri as his highest value he'll ever be, which is 7th round pick. For Besser, who's on a slow Vancouver team like we're talking about, who could just pick it up anytime.
And then you can flip
he was an all-time low, exactly. And he's now traded Bennett for 2 7th round picks because he's being tight with his picks. But this is another example that if you want to deal with him, you're getting an 11th back. Like,
Yeah,
that's
you
the
have to
best
give up
pick.
a high
Like,
pick.
the worst pick you can get back. Sorry, is like an 11th round pick now. So, and he's gonna keep dealing. So I like it for him. I think Braden paid a little too much, but he's all in. He wants to compete. He wants to be on the playoff spot. So I get it.
He's taking the steps to improve his team. You can't fault him there.
And there's not too many people selling.
No,
Right? There's not a whole lot of value for a 7th left out there.
So my big thing too is with all these deals, you've seen a lot of big picks moved already, right? You can get down to trade deadline. 6s and 7s are all gone pretty much.
You probably, the people in playoff spots are the ones who've moved their picks early, get a full season worth of value out of these players. Should be higher in the standings typically, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be fighting against other sellers. Like, it's going to be weird.
It could be people trying to upgrade their keepers at the deadline.
Yeah.
But any real buyers for like playoff purpose, it's gonna be 8s and 9s and 10s, right? That's all that they're gonna have left.
Yeah.
So anyone in the top half, they pretty much are already moved their 6 and 7.
Well, Domo, he has a stockpile of picks right now. Same with Dan. Dan is in second in the league right now. First and second have better picks than they started the season with.
I expect Dan to tail off, though. I do expect Dan to tail off.
Yep, I agree a little bit, but like Sean hasn't moved too many picks. So like maybe he'll be able to pick up more with it.
Sean never moves any picks. Like, he never even. He doesn't make any trades. He makes a couple of trades on trade deadline day, loses again in the playoffs, and then okay, guys, have a good draft. Okay, what's that doing for you? Like,
second place.
Regular season maybe. Like, he lost in the finals twice? So
yeah, he lost to me and Nick.
Yeah, that's hurtful.
That's way back. Holy.
But I must say, sometimes I have great luck. My opponent picks up a player, puts up some points, but he's day-to-day now. So thank you, Lynn. Let's go over those power rankings. Really curious here. I did get a sneak peek at them earlier.
Yeah, we have Captain Crunch coming at first, followed by Suck My Ojic at second. And then it's a big one too in rankings there. They were really close for top spot. I think Captain Crunch got the win that secured first place for him. Surprisingly, Nick in third though. I feel like a lot of people gave him a high ranking, knowing he's played some tough matchups too. Dan coming in at fourth, right behind, followed by you in fifth.
I played some rough matchups.
I know. I'm not criticizing.
No respect.
And then Sean tailing off a little bit here. I actually think I had him a little bit lower. He's been on a pretty big cold streak. Daltrey, I'm coming in behind him at seventh. Cherry Picking Daddy moving up in 8th spot. Patch Ready to Rumble in 9th. Clefbaum still staying up there. For a guy who's selling early, we expect him to tail off quicker. You got the win against me last week, but coming in at 10th. I got canceled, slowly moving down into 11th. Actually, he stayed still. Hockey Balboa coming up. He's at 12th, followed by Travis in 13th, myself in 14th. Seaman on the ice going down to 15th, and please don't forget the goalie, 16th. These two guys here were 1-2 on everyone's radar pretty much for the bottom.
1-2 in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and then we look at the difference from month 1 to 2. Cherry Picking Daddy coming up 6 spots from 14th. You know, he had a really bad start.
We're on 3 now, though, right?
Well, we had the preseason.
Yeah, the
preseason, right? So coming up 6 spots though. Nick going from 7th to 3rd. Hockey Balboa going from 16th to 12th. So that's a nice jump for him of 4. Travis and Dan going down by 2. Captain Crunch, Patch Ready Rumble by 1. Those are the only climbers. Couple big droppers we'll talk about here is Seaman on the Ice going down 7 spots. Charlie Brown's going down from 1st last month to 6th this, so 5 back, and Tyler going back to the bottom here with 3, couldn't go any further back. So and myself and Daltrey going down 2 spots, and yourself, after, even though you had a great month, going down 1 spot, and
One loss.
one loss, 1 tie.
Yeah.
What do you think of these rankings here, the power rankings?
No, it's good. Like, right, it's what the people think. It's a little hurtful though that I'm dropping when I went 2-1-1 against the teams that were ahead of me in standings. You know,
everyone but Dan. Like, you faced these 4 teams and went.
I faced 3 of those 4 teams, and I went 1
Sean.
and Sean. And Sean's the one I lost to, who's right under me.
Yep.
But it is what it is. That's the people's opinion. I like when they don't respect the champion, because then they underestimate me, and then they lose.
Simple, just that.
Yeah,
just like that.
That's it. No, I think it's good at the top. Obviously, Domo deserves to be there, 7-1. His only loss coming at the hands of Le Champion. Just I'll throw that out there. Neil having a great season as well. So you can't argue that, right? Nick has a great roster. He was on a bit of a roll till he ran into Le Champion.
And barely, like, that was a good matchup, though.
It was a great matchup.
Yeah.
Like you said, it came down to the last play of the week. So, so he deserves to be up there too. Dan is having a great season. I don't know that he's played any of the top teams though yet. Has he?
He's had a fairly easy schedule, but he's played well too. Like, I feel like his team's really done well.
That's good. They can get those games out.
When he plays me, and I can get a 3rd win maybe.
Some teams at the bottom there, of course. Like, I think everyone saw Semin and Please Don't Feed the Goalie being down there. But you see Travis on the rise, right? He was pretty much unanimous 16th last time. Like, yeah, Braden as well. So those teams that are making moves, that are making moves at the bottom, trying to get up, it's showing in the power rankings. So honestly, curious to see what happens in January, right? When we look at the next power rankings and see what happens. So some teams have some tough schedules coming up. I got a pretty easy schedule, I like to think, coming up. I do have Dan in a few weeks, so
we'll see what's left of Dan by then, though.
We'll see what Dan's team looks like in 3 weeks. Let's go on to the week 9. Let's see what Lynn thinks.
Started up with match 1 here. So Saucier Pass versus Cherry Pickin' Daddy. Lynn going against me, 9-6. What do you think of this, Shane?
I don't blame her. Kyle has Yari, who's one of the hottest goalies in the league right now, right? So she has 4 of those 5 goalie stats going in his favor. It'd be nice to see Yari versus Campbell. That's not happening. Little cheap shot there, I guess, but I know I do like the things that Kyle is doing. I don't know if your offense will carry you through this week, or if Kyle's goalies will shut it down. It's a tough call, but I've been going against you fairly often, and it's been working for me. So I'm gonna go with Kyle. I would like to say an interesting fact about this week's matchups. The top 8 teams, all the playoff teams, are playing non-playoff teams this week.
Wow. So this should be some easy pickings for who to go for then.
It should be easy pickings, or like good chance for like a mix up here, right in the middle.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. I thought it was really interesting. So I'm going to pick Kyle. I imagine you're going to pick.
I'm going to go with myself. I mean, it's a little hard not to know what my week's looking like right now. I'm off to a pretty strong week. I do have a shutout from tonight, but I also picked up a goalie who's playing against Colorado and led in 7. So my goalie stats are below 900, but I got a shutout tonight. So I'm gonna go with myself. I think Kyle should win. If I didn't know the stats, I'd probably still pick myself.
Yeah, of course you would. Like I say all the time, if you're not voting on yourself, who's gonna vote for you?
Yeah. Here we go. This is about you. Le Champion versus Hockey Balboa. It's a close one here for Lynn, saying it's going to be Braden's going to take all the goalie stats, but still lose 8-6. I haven't seen that before. What do you think of this one, Shane?
Honestly, before we started recording, the score was 8-6 for me, but I had all the goalie stats. I picked up. I did my research this week. Stolars, since Anaheim's playing 5 games, I was up till 3 a.m. on Sunday, and I made that pick at 3 a.m. to pick up Stolars because my goalie situation was unpredictable from the injuries last week, and I wanted some starts, and he's probably gonna get 2 out of 5, I'd imagine, because a couple back-to-backs. But he got me a shutout against Buffalo.
Wow!
So already paying dividends, right? Like Anderson got me a good win last night. Kemper got me a good win today. My goalies are killing it this week, and I have confidence that my players are going to outgrind Hockey Balboa. So the Braden bye week lives on, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, this is. I know Braden's trying to get back in there, but it's not going to be an easy one, and I don't think he's going to do it.
Matthews has been lighting it up there. He's been heating up. It's at 17 goals now. Like it's on the rise.
That's a lot of goals.
Yeah, and he's off to a slow start. He didn't score for his first 4 games.
Yeah, that's true. The whole team didn't score for the first 4 games, and they haven't stopped.
Well, he wasn't there for the first so many games. Then his first 4 games he didn't score.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But did you see
your hits here? Your average hit 62.9. I think that's probably a league high.
My team grinds.
I know they do.
They grind. Like I got 5 grinder defensemen, and that's all they do. Like
I know none of them have power play points ever.
No, they're out there for one reason: grind. Like,
it's working.
Did you see Zegras' goal or assist last night?
Off they go. The helmet?
No.
What happened?
He did the Michigan, but instead of going around the score, like the lacrosse goal, he shot it over the net, and Milano one-timed it in midair.
Oh, he didn't. I didn't. So I saw that goal, but I didn't see it in a good enough video to see that he hit it in. I thought he hit it off the goal. I thought he hit the goalie's back of the head.
No, that was
that was wicked then.
I guess after the game too, Zegras was saying Milano was calling for it. That's what he wanted me to do.
Really?
He was waiting for the pass over the net.
Oh, that's funny.
That has to be something they practiced, right? Like you'd imagine. Like
some goals you just look at and you're just like, wow. Like some of the Sedin passes, like how do you know that he's there?
Just to try something like that, it's ballsy.
That's true too, yeah.
Because if you miss, a good point. He's like now that they know he can do that, they're not going to give him that time behind the net, so they're going to put pressure, and that'll open up a passing lane, right?
It's true.
If you can give him the time, then he's going to do something. But
no. All right, let's move on here.
Let's talk about the third matchup here. What we got?
I got canceled versus the Charlie Browns.
Lynn, Love, and Sean.
Prediction. I can't blame her for this one though. I think Sean's going to have a cakewalk. His goalie situation is harsh, but I think his players can carry him for the win here with how much Derek's team's injured.
Well, is Derek's goalie situation much better? Price hasn't played.
Yeah.
Like, Talbot is solid.
Talbot's been killing it, to be honest.
Leonard depends on the week.
Yeah, it's true. It really does.
You're saying Charlie?
Yeah, I'm going Charlie.
I can't argue that. Like I was picking Charlie anyway. I just don't think Derek's focused enough to take on a team like Charlie Brown's right now. For whatever reason, like hopefully he becomes a little more active again as we progress. He was really into it early in the season.
He's spotty though normally.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like by February, he's going to be all in.
Pushing for a rush. Hopefully, he's still he's sitting better than he is now. All right, matchup 4, Daltry on the beef versus Please Don't Feed the Goalie. 8-7. Not a lot of respect for Daltry here. What do you think of this, Shane?
I mean, 8-7's a win, right? A win's a win. I'm going to agree with Lynn though. I think Daltry's gonna beat Please Don't Feed the Goalie. again, the reasons we stated earlier, Mantha, Ellis, Backstrom, like taking up roster spots that could be used for players who are active, right?
So some of these players are being traded for 7th round picks right now.
Yeah. Getting something out of a roster spot is better than getting nothing.
Exactly.
Unless it's Kucherov, obviously you don't throw Kuch back in. You hold on to him. But and the thing is too, if Dallas isn't going, and the thing is too, Dallas doesn't rely on Sergei, Ben, and Radulov anymore.
No, they have 2 lines.
That's more like a secondary
lines.
scoring now.
It is. I know, which is nice to see for them, like for the team. Nice to see the young guys coming through. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you and Lynn on this one. I think it's gonna be worse than 8-7, but I think Dolphins are gonna have an easy win, and I hate to say it, but
yeah,
can't sacrifice my record for a little bit. Look at this one, Captain Crunch taking on Clefbaum. Lynn predicting a 10-5 win for Captain Crunch. I can't disagree. I think Captain Crunch is going to take it this week. Kyle's selling, and he's first in the league for a reason. So this is the matchup he'd like to see.
I think he's going to win. I want to say it so bad, but Kyle's goalies can come out of nowhere, right? Like, but I just can't think of Captain Crunch losing to Kyle. Like, I just don't see it. I'd like to see it happen. I would.
Believe it.
Markstrom pull off a crazy great week, but I think Captain Crunch somehow, without any real goaltending, is going to win again.
It's true.
His team is just unorthodox compared to what most of the league uses, but it works for him.
I know. Yeah, exactly. And like last year, we were doubtful too. So clearly, there's something we're missing.
They got him runner up, right? That's it. Didn't get him a championship.
I got him some money, more than he's not at Sean's level yet, though.
It's not. You're not at that runner up level yet. You'll get there. I guess Daltrey says he's a fan of the show.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't really say much about it, but apparently he's a fan of the show. So I hope he understands that we just like taking little jabs at him. And there's respect in there as well, right? So
not for Daltrey. Daltrey Senior. Now we're talking.
No, you raised a terrible son, but he's beautiful. He's beautiful.
Matchup 6 here. We got Get Off My Grass. Time. Patch ready to rumble. So, what do you think of this, Shane?
I mean, the standings would say that Get Off My Grass will win, but he keeps moving anything of value out. But so does Nick. Like, it's tough to say who's going to move the least amount of players by end of the week. So I'm trying to look at like the mainstays here, right? Kaprizov versus Rantanen, Samsonov versus Merzlikins, right? Like, I don't know. She thinks it's gonna be a tie, but I'm gonna go off the board, and I'm gonna say Patch.
Ooh,
because I think Colorado has a good schedule this week, and Rantanen and Landeskog are gonna put up some points.
Remember, though, Dan does have a few Avalanche players himself. Makar has been lights out. Like, he's been insane, man.
Yeah. Makar has been good.
Yeah. I'm going to go against you and Lynn on this one, and I'm actually going to go with Dan. I think he's going to slow down, but not against Nick. Unless Nick puts up what he did 2 weeks ago against me, I don't think he stands a chance.
I guess we'll see. Like, his goalies are wild cards, right? But I don't know. It's not a matchup I really want to pick anyone. I guess that's what Lynn did. Lynn just tied.
Yeah. But, damn it, we should have followed Lynn.
But yeah, I also got to try and get some points back here in the predictions. So
we got to catch
underdog
Daltrey.
here or there.
We got to catch Daltrey. Doesn't know how to build a team, but he knows how to judge them.
That's right.
All right, matchup 7 here. We got Baltimore Orioles versus the whole shaft. The whole shaft win 10-4 is Lynn's prediction. I'm gonna go with a Nick win as well in this one. I know. Actually, you know what? I know how this week is going, and man, Travis's team is not messing around. I gotta switch my vote. I'm going with Travis. What is your take? I will say, if the week's just started, I would have gone with Nick.
I told Travis today at work that I would have picked Nick, and that I'm still picking Nick. You should have seen his heart break. You know, in like The Simpsons, the moment you see Ralph, like his heart just breaks. Like that's what it could have been like. Yeah, that's it. I broke Travis's heart today by telling him, no, I'm still picking Nick. I think Nick just has the better team, and he's gonna outgrind Baltimore Orioles in the end.
I don't know. Baltimore Orioles already it's Wednesday. 45 hits, 8 goals, 11 assists, a shutout. Like he's on fire this week.
He is.
Yep. But
it's still early.
Nick's not out of it. Nick's nowhere out of it. I'll say that though.
No, Nick has Vass. There could be a shutout right there anytime he jumps on the ice. He's gonna wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna shut out today, boys!" Like, whew, this matchup here.
Seaman on the ice against Neil. Suck by Ojik. Lynn going with the favorable 10-4 win for Neil. What do you think of this, Shane?
If Neil's ever gonna get upset, it could be this week. And I'm gonna say it because he's running Georgiev and Sorokin on an Islanders team that just isn't there this year, right? So his goalies aren't in a good spot. He has Rask, who's not playing. He's got Shesterkin, who's on the IR. So if Mark's goalies can perform, he could steal a win this week. What sucks for Mark is Barkov comes back after 8 games and then gets injured in that game.
Did he get injured? I didn't know.
He got injured. He's day-to-day again. Like, so that hurts Mark. But if his goalies can hold him, I think he could beat Neil. Do I think he will? I do kind of have to give Neil some respect, and I'm gonna vote for him because I think he should win. But I will say though, if there's ever a week where Neil is extremely vulnerable, it could be this week because of his goalie situation. So take that for what it is. But I'm gonna say Neil's gonna win anyway. I think he's just gonna outscore him.
Yeah, the Rangers have been doing well though. Like they got lit up tonight, but it wasn't against Georgia. I like Neil. I like Neil's team. His goalies might be rough, but his players will carry him. I think he'll have an easy week this week.
Yeah, that Mark.
One of the top versus the bottom here, like second against 15th, like in the power rankings.
Yeah.
Can't argue it. We just voted. We're 2 of the votes.
Yeah.
So, but the situation does impact things though.
That's what I'm saying. I still think Neil should win. But if he's gonna have a bad week, it's gonna be because of his shitty goaltending situation. Right? It's just
it's not gonna help it. I will say though, it's they've done really well this week already.
Honestly, like this week, you're looking at there's gonna be some upsets. A lot of people are probably gonna play it safe, saying, "Hey, there's not gonna be any upsets here. It's all playoff teams versus non-playoff teams, right?"
Yeah. They got 13th and 8th, 12th and 2nd, 11th and 6th, 14 and 7. And like there's not a lot of points difference here, 14 and 7.
No.
1st and 9th, 10th, 3rd, 16th, 5th, 4th, 15th. Like that's insane. That's awesome.
It's just one of those weeks, right, where it just matches up and the top teams are playing against the bottom teams, and someone's gonna have hurt feelings after this week. Right? Like not everyone's coming out with an easy win. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there when we talk next week. Yeah.
Well, I won't be here next week, so
yeah.
I have to have
I'll have to find a guest. It'll be a little different format next week because I don't have authority over the document.
We'll see if I can
make
set you
it
up.
work. We'll still make
yeah.
it work, guys. We'll still make it work.
The show lives on.
That's it. The show never dies until the commissioner dies. And then I don't know, maybe someone will take it up. I don't know. You'll have to name a successor in case something happens to me. Who's gonna take over the league?
It's in the will, buddy. It better be in the goddamn will.
In the will. Someone's gonna take over my team, but someone else will take over as commissioner.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's gonna inherit my team? Some random. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know what happens if ever anyone from the league dies. Like I don't like to think about that.
Yeah, let's not go there.
The league will live forever.
Well, how I'm gonna thrash Kyle this week and climb back in the rankings.
You gonna pick his cherries, bud?
But they've already been picked.
Man, Hockey Balboa, man, he's going down. He's going down faster than Lynn after a game. No, he just doesn't know it yet. Just doesn't know. McJesus is coming. All praise McJesus. Plays tomorrow.
Does he play tomorrow?
Yeah, McJesus plays tomorrow.
Yeah, your goalies have been killers so far, though. Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one for Braden, but
he's got Campbell, but Campbell let in 4 goals the other night. So his goalies are slumping when they're playing me. See these hits and blocks? Well, the hits I'm probably going to take over tonight. I have 2 grinder defensemen going right now. He's got no one left playing. Oh, he's got Garland playing. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some grinders going. I should probably be able to take over that. Definitely not power play points tonight. Maybe some pims. I might get some pims out of those grinds.
Yeah.
What's yours looking like here?
I wanted to look at my night. My night is just atrocious. Does it show my night?
Yeah, if you go to your roster.
Look at this.
704.
-7. 351. 89. But a shutout.
Yeah. Like, does it balance out? I don't know. It's nice to have, but that 704 that's hurtful.
Yeah. That's all right.
Anyway, a great time again talking hockey with you. Always enjoy some hockey chat here. Send in you guys already sent in your predictions, so it's too late. Don't send in anymore.
Yeah,
we're done.
Sending them in.
We'll talk again next week. But you have anything to say before we end this?
No, it's always a pleasure, man.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks again for joining. Man, this league is so tight right now. That's what I love. That's what I want. I want a competitive league, but with keeping 5 keepers.
Apparently.
All right, guys. Have a good week. Good luck, everyone. Except you, Braden. But yeah,
Kyle, you're going down.
We'll see you next week.
See you.